Look around in Dubai, or Abu Dhabi, or Sharjah. What do you see? White cars everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are, at the mall, stuck in a traffic, or even parked outside a desert camp. One thing never changed. Almost every single car is white. White sedans, white SUVs, white pickups. It's like the whole country got a group discount on one color. At some point, you've got to ask, is it just a coincidence? Or is there a law? A secret rule? Some kind of desert car cult? Well, the answer is way more interesting than you think. Because there's science behind it, economics, culture, even a bit of strategy. So buckle up, because we are about to dive into one of the most overlooked automotive mysteries in the world. Why does the UAE love white cars? And hey, before you jump in, hit that like button and subscribe to Monitech if you are into unusual car stories from around the globe. Alright, let's go. Let's start with the obvious. It is hot, like really hot. In the summer, the temperature in UAE regularly hits 45 to 50 degrees Celsius. That's not just warm, that's burn your hands on the seatbelt buckle hot. And if your car is parked on asphalt, the ground can reach up to 60 degrees. In that kind of heat, color actually matters. It is not just about style, it's about survival. White reflects sunlight, black absorbs it. That's basic physics. A white car can be 5 to 10 degrees cooler than a black one just from sitting in the sun. And when it is 50 outside, that difference can feel huge. It can mean the difference between let's go and let's wait 15 minutes for the AC to make it breathable. People have tested this with thermometers and even thermal cameras. Black hoods and roofs get scorching. White ones? Still hot, but way less extreme. Put simply, in a country like the UAE, driving a black car is like choosing to live in a microwave. You don't want to cook your steering wheel. And you definitely don't want your leather seats turning into frying pans. That's reason number one. But trust me, there's more. Let's talk about what happens after you get in a car. In a dark-colored car, the interior gets hotter. And that means your air conditioner has to work harder and longer to cool things down. The longer it runs and fast blast, the more fuel you burn. That matters if you are driving a gas-powered car. And if you are in an electric vehicle, it's even worse, because cooling eats up battery life fast. Ever heard of range anxiety? That's when elite drivers worry about how far they can go before they need to recharge. In the UAE heat with a black car, that anxiety doubles, because the first 20 minutes of your drive are spent just for cooling the cabin. So yeah, white cars help your air conditioner. And in this climate, that's not a small deal, that's a daily win. And if you are wondering what this means for your wallet, keep watching. Let's talk business. In the UAE, white isn't just a color, it's a smart investment. White cars have the highest resale value. You sell faster, you lose less. It's simple supply and demand. Everyone wants white. So when it is time to sell, you have got a bigger market. It's also about the default choice for rental companies. If you are renting a car in Dubai, chances are it's white. Not because it is fancy, but because it is easy to clean, doesn't overheat and blends in. And then there are fleet vehicles. Taxis, police cars, government cars, most of them are white. Why? Standardization, cost, and again, heat control. Some insurance companies even offer better rates on white cars. fewer claims lower risk, easier maintenance. So choosing white isn't just smart for comfort, it's smart for your bank account too. Now let's talk about rentals and ride shares. If you ever taken an Uber or Careem in the UAE, you probably rode in a white car. Big rental companies like Al Futtaim also use white almost by default. Why? Because it makes everything easier. Easier to clean, easier to match fleets, easier to replace when one car is done. It also helps customers feel comfortable. White cars look clean. They don't feel like they've been baking in the sun for hours. That matters when your ride arrives in the middle of a 48 degrees Celsius afternoon. Here's a fun fact. If you see a white Toyota in Dubai, there is a 50-50 chance it is not a private car. It's probably a rental, a ride share or a company vehicle. So white isn't just popular, it's the standard, especially for cars that are constantly on the move. But beyond the heat and the business side, there's something deeper: culture and style. In the UAE, white is more than practical, it's symbolic. White means purity, cleanliness, status. Just look at traditional clothing. Emirati man wears the dishdasha, long, flowing and always bright white. Women wear the abaya, often black, yes, but now it also exists in white color. Now take a walk through old Dubai or drive past a luxury villa. What do you see? White walls, white marble, white tiles. The architecture reflects the same values: light, elegance and coolness in the desert sun. So, when someone drives a white car, it fits right in. It feels intentional. It looks modern. And even if it's a regular Toyota or Nissan in white, it somehow feels just like a more premium. That's the cultural effect. White in the UAE isn't just a color, it's an identity. Now let's get practical and a little dusty. In the UAE, sand is everywhere. It gets on your shoes, your windows, your clothes, and definitely on your car. And here's the thing: the darker your car, the more the dust shows up. A black or dark gray car can look dirty after just a few hours parked outside. But white hides the sand better. It still gets dusty, sure, but it doesn't scream "wash me" the way darker cars do. There's another issue: sand in rough. Over time it can damage your paint. Tiny scratches, swirls, especially during sandstorms, or if you wipe the car without rinsing it first. White cars handle this better. They don't show every tiny flaw. And when it's time to polish, it's quicker and easier. So, in a place where nature is constantly trying to ruin your paint job, white is just the logical choice. But what about other colors? Surely not everyone wants white, right? Let's start with black. Black cars look amazing, sleek, shiny, powerful. But in the UAE, they are basically mobile ovens. Step into one in July and you will feel like you opened the door to a bakery. Style or not, that heat is brutal. Red and blue? Sure, they look great when brand new. But give it a few weeks in the sun and sand, and they start to fade. The bright glossy finish starts looking dull. Add a few sand scratches and yeah, not so pretty anymore. Even silver and grey struggle. They show dust, just not as badly as black. Still, they don't have that cool advantage that white brings. Now you might be thinking, what about luxury cars? Surely, those are colorful. And yes, sometimes they are. You will see gold Bentleys, metal green Lamborghinis, even custom pink Rolls-Royces. But those cars are wrapped, or kept indoors, or detailed every week. They are the exception, not the rule. For most people, white just makes far more sense. It lasts longer, stays cooler, and keeps looking clean. Even if it is not exciting, it's smart. But what about silver? It's actually the second most popular color in the UAE. Silver has some of the same benefits as white. It reflects heat better than black, and it hides scratches fairly well, but it still has a few downsides. First, visibility. Silver cars can be harder to see at night, especially in open desert roads with little lighting. That's a safety concern. Second, silver just doesn't look as clean. It hides dust okay, but not as well as white. After a sandstorm, silver starts to look dull, like a dirty mirror. And finally, it just doesn't have that same premium, desert-ready vibe that white does. So while silver is a decent runner-up, it's still not the top pick. And here's something interesting. Psychology plays a role too. People tend to buy what they see. If every car on the road is white, that becomes the norm. You don't even think twice. You just go with what feels right. White becomes the safe choice, the smart choice, the one they won't raise eyebrows. New buyers especially don't want to stand out in the wrong way. They don't want their car to look weird or out of place in a sea of white. So even if someone wants red or blue, they might still go white, just to fit in. It's a cycle. The more white cars there are, the more white cars get sold. Social influence is real, especially when it also happens to be the most practical option. So what's the final verdict? White isn't just a trend in the UAE. It's not a fashion statement. It's a logical decision. It's the smartest color for this climate. For your comfort, your wallet, your resale value, and even your paint protection. It's cooler, cleaner, and way more practical. And yeah, let's be honest, it looks kind of sharp. So here's the real question. Would you choose white if you lived in Dubai? Or would you risk cooking in black? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to Monitech, and I'll see you in the next video.